In March 1991, WrestleMania VII was supposed to make history inside a stadium of 100,000 fans. Instead, WWE moved the main event indoors to an arena less than 16,000. The company claimed real-life bomb threats against their heel champion forced the sudden move, but insiders said the truth was much simpler. Tickets just weren't selling. This is the true story of Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter, the most controversial, threat-plagued, and forgotten main event in WrestleMania history. To understand how WWE ended up in this crisis, we have to go back to late 1990, when Sergeant Slaughter made a shocking return to television. For years, Slaughter was a beloved American hero, but in the summer of 1990, Vince McMahon presented him with a radical character shift. Slaughter returned as an anti-American heel who openly turned his back on his country, just as real-world tensions were rising in the Middle East. To make the character even more provocative, WWE paired Slaughter with a new manager, General Adnan. Together, Slaughter and Adnan cut furious promos, burning American flags and praising foreign regimes on national television. The reaction from fans was immediate and intense. Heat quickly crossed the line from wrestling entertainment into genuine public anger. By January 1991, Vince McMahon took the risk even further by putting Slaughter into the WWF Championship match at the Royal Rumble. The reigning champion heading into the Royal Rumble was the Ultimate Warrior, one of the most popular stars of the era. Warrior was riding high after defeating Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania VI, but his title reign was about to hit a sudden wall. On January 19, 1991, at the Miami Arena, Sergeant Slaughter challenged Warrior for the ultimate prize in professional wrestling. The match was brutal, but the critical moment came when third-party interference shattered Warrior's title defense. Slaughter pinned Warrior to win the WWF Championship, sending shockwaves through the entire wrestling industry. General Adnan entered the ring to celebrate, raising Slaughter's hand as fans reacted with overwhelming anger. Later that same night, Hulk Hogan won the 30-man Royal Rumble match, officially securing his spot as the #1 contender. With Slaughter as the villainous champion and Hogan as the heroic challenger, WWE had its main event set for WrestleMania VII. Vince McMahon announced that WrestleMania VII would take place at the massive Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, aiming to seat 100,000 fans. It was an incredibly ambitious goal. WWE wanted to set a new all-time indoor outdoor attendance record for professional wrestling. Promotions heavily pushed the match on television as a battle of national pride, stand up for America. Slaughter escalated the heat by wearing Iraqi colors, carrying their flag, and aligning closely with General Adnan during TV tapings. As real-world military operations intensified in early 1991, public anger over WWE's storyline began to spiral out of control. Mainstream news outlets began criticizing WWE for exploiting a real international conflict for pay-per-view profits. Then the situation turned dangerous. Sergeant Slaughter began receiving legitimate death threats, phone threats, and bomb threats at arenas. Slaughter later revealed in interviews that he had to wear a bulletproof vest in public and traveled with private security everywhere he went. His family also received threats at home, forcing WWE officials to increase personal security measures around the champion. As the event drew closer in late February 1991, WWE made a sudden and dramatic announcement. WrestleMania VII was being officially moved out of the 100,000-seat Los Angeles Coliseum and relocated into the much smaller Los Angeles Sports Arena. WWE's official statement claimed the move was made purely due to safety concerns and bomb threats surrounding Sergeant Slaughter. They argued that an open-air stadium like the Coliseum was impossible to secure against potential sniper or explosive threats. However, wrestling journalists and mainstream reporters immediately challenged WWE's official explanation. Reports revealed that ticket sales for the Coliseum had stalled drastically, with estimates suggesting only around 16,000 tickets sold.
Filling 16,000 seats in a 100,000-seat stadium would have looked embarrassing on television. Moving to the Los Angeles Sports Arena allowed WWE to instantly sell out the smaller venue and create a crowded, energetic television appearance. To this day, wrestling historians debate whether security threats or ticket sales was the primary reason for the venue move. Most experts agree it was a combination of both. Genuine security risks made an already struggling stadium show a massive operational hazard. Despite the controversy, the show went forward. On March 24, 1991, WrestleMania VII kicked off inside the Los Angeles Sports Arena. The security inside the building was tighter than any wrestling event in history, with guards stationed throughout the facility. When the main event arrived, champion Sergeant Slaughter entered the arena alongside General Adnan to intense boos. Slaughter entered the ring, held his title, and sneered at the camera, completely embracing his role as the ultimate villain. Then the arena exploded as Real American hit the speakers and Hulk Hogan made his grand entrance. Hogan marched down the ramp carrying the American flag, determined to bring the WWF Championship back to the United States. Both men entered the ring, standing face-to-face as the ring announcer delivered the official championship match introductions. The bell rang and the match began with intense physical locking up and tests of strength in the center of the ring. Hogan gained early control, knocking Slaughter down with powerful shoulder blocks and right-hand punches. Outside the ring, General Adnan frequently distracted the referee and tried to trip Hogan whenever he hit the ropes. Slaughter took advantage of the distractions, attacking Hogan's back with ruthless knee strikes and chair shots outside the ring. Slaughter locked in his punishing camel clutch submission hold, forcing Hogan to strain in agony near the center of the ring. Hogan fought with everything he had, slowly pushing himself up off the mat despite the intense pressure on his neck and back. Slaughter released the hold and draped an Iraqi flag over Hogan, boasting to the crowd that the match was over. That proved to be a massive mistake. The insult triggered Hogan's famous hulking up comeback. Hogan got to his feet, completely ignoring Slaughter's punches, shaking his head and pointing his famous finger directly at the champion. Hogan blocked Slaughter's next strike, executed a big boot to the jaw, and hit his signature leg drop across Slaughter's chest. Hogan covered Slaughter for the 3 count, winning back the WWF Championship to a thunderous roar inside the arena. For Hogan, it was his 3rd WWF Championship reign, cementing his position as the undisputed face of the company. For Sergeant Slaughter, the ending of the match brought an immediate sense of relief after months of intense real-life pressure. In the months following WrestleMania VII, WWE quietly phased out the Iraqi sympathizer storyline as global political tensions settled. By late 1991, Sergeant Slaughter began a redemptive babyface turn, filming video packages apologizing to the American public. Fans eventually forgave Slaughter, and he transitioned back into a respected veteran figure within WWE. However, the legacy of WrestleMania VII remained permanently complicated. Unlike WrestleMania III or WrestleMania VI, WWE rarely promoted highlights of the 1991 main event in retrospective specials. The combination of real-world war sensitivity and ticket sales struggles made WWE uncomfortable showcasing the event for years. When fans discuss iconic WrestleMania main events today, matches like Hogan vs. Andre or Austin vs. Rock dominate the conversation. Hogan vs. Slaughter at WrestleMania VII is often left out, slipping quietly into the background of wrestling history. Yet, from a historical standpoint, it remains one of the most fascinating examples of professional wrestling blurring the line with real-world news. It showed how far WWE was willing to go to generate heat, even if it meant risking fan backlash and safety concerns. It also highlighted the massive risk of booking open-air stadium shows without guaranteed ticket momentum. WWE learned valuable lessons about venue management, crisis communication, and talent security during those chaotic months in early 1991. Sergeant Slaughter's dedication to playing the villain despite real personal threats earned him tremendous respect among backstage peers, and Hulk Hogan added another legendary WrestleMania main event victory to his unmatched Prime-era resume. Whether viewed as a commercial misstep or a brilliant real-world heat experiment, WrestleMania VII remains one of wrestling's most unique chapters. The 1991 main event will forever be remembered as the night WWE pushed controversy to the absolute limit, a forgotten main event born out of real-world headlines, intense security fears, and the high-stakes reality of professional wrestling.